Yes, Judge. Your Honor, on life size is Lindsay Swenson. She's the victim in these two cases, and I would just like to inquire of her. Lindsay, would you like me to explain to the judge what we talked about earlier today, or would you like to make a statement to the judge about your desires for bond?
You can go ahead and do it. I think you would present it better than I would. So.
Okay, sure. Your Honor, I spoke with Ms. Swenson on the phone earlier this afternoon. I let her know that we would be addressing bond today, and I asked her opinions on a lot of different things, but including bond. What she expressed to me, I think partially about bond and partially about the outcome of the case, was her belief that jail doesn't do anybody any good. She does not want to have contact with the defendant and would plan on staying away from the defendant. And so she thinks his bond should be lowered. That is what she expressed to me about bond. She also expressed that for his recent drug use, and she, on multiple occasions reiterated that she just doesn't, I think she spoke broadly about jail, not even maybe specific to this case, but all cases. She doesn't think jail helps people held in custody. Her primary desires were for the defendant to get help, get treatment. Lindsay, was there anything you feel like I left out?
It was more that my ex, David Burkhart, when he would get thrown in jail for a week or whatever, he would come back out and he would beat me every night constantly. And that's why I feel like jail doesn't help, because he just keeps doing the same thing over and over. And my other ex, he got bonded out on a PR bond, and he actually went to what he did his what me and the DA on that case discussed. He actually did what he was supposed to do, and he was doing really great. He had a job. He was sober, and I was very proud of him. And so I see a big difference between jail and then getting out and actually getting help.
I trust the court kind of remembers some of that hearing. What I will tell the court is we were working off of pretty limited information that Saturday morning. And I wondered what it would look like when I watched the body cam footage compared to what I was reading in the reports, what picture I would have. And I will tell the court it is not better. It may be worse than what we were reading in those reports. The video I watched, officers came to the apartment door. It was a neighbor that was the reporting party. I haven't listened to the call yet. I presume they heard something, made a call. But officers showed up to the apartment, knocked on the door several times. There was a window at the front of the apartment, and some curtains were partially parted in that window. Officers were about to leave. I think two of them had started walking away, and Mr. Jewell's cat, which was inside the apartment, jumped up onto the windowsill, and in walking across the windowsill, moved some of the curtains. One officer caught the tiniest little glimpse through one of those cracks of Miss Swenson's foot on the ground. I think they used the term a male. They didn't know who it was, but their concern was they saw someone, based on the orientation of the foot, laying on their back on the floor of the apartment, and they were concerned about the color of that foot. It was turning bluish purple. So they immediately forced entry into the residence. They kicked in the front door of the residence. They found Miss Jewell lying on her back, unconscious, in the living room area.
You called me Miss Jewell.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Swenson. I apologize. I misspoke. Thank you, Miss Swenson. They saw Miss Swenson lying on her back, unconscious, on the floor of that apartment. At one point in the body cam footage, I heard an officer confirm that there was a pulse, but Miss Swenson was not breathing. They, as quickly as they could, secured the apartment. They located Mr. Jewell. They escorted him out of the apartment. I will note for the court, he was hiding elsewhere in the apartment while Miss Swenson was on the ground, unconscious and not breathing. They found him quickly. They made several attempts to revive Miss Swenson. Eventually, one of the officers told the other one to perform a chest rub or a chest something, some technique, I suppose. And finally, Miss Swenson regained consciousness when they started rubbing her chest. She sat up. I mean, Judge, it was like out of a movie. She sat up, and I would say for approximately 8 to 10 seconds, she sat up and had regained consciousness, but had not yet started breathing. And about 10 seconds after sitting up, she started gasping for air, and it took her 20 seconds, 30 seconds to even be able to stop gasping and groaning and just begin breathing normally. As she started talking, kind of stream of consciousness, it was clear her brain was trying to wake back up. They checked with her, they asked her if she was okay. She kind of responded with some groans and some other things, and eventually she started talking about what had happened, and she explained that Mr. Jewell kind of grabbed her or pushed her / threw her and into the couch. She felt her neck and her head hit the couch, and then everything went black. And actually, the first thing she said when she came to, very difficult to understand, was "my neck really hurts." But it was a slurring, groaning as she was trying to regain consciousness. She said her neck really hurts. Then later on, she explained that the last thing she remembered was being shoved or thrown into the couch. So, Judge, what we were concerned about at this first bond hearing, it is just as bad as we were concerned about. She was not breathing, and Mr. Jewell was hiding elsewhere in the apartment while the officers knocked on the door. In the first case, the February case, my concern is it's an aggravated case. Something similar happened in that there's an allegation that Mr. Jewell shoved Miss Swenson to the ground, but her arm was quite injured when officers first arrived. She thought in February Mr. Jewell had broken her arm, and she was missing a tooth at the time. Then, not too long later, we have this second case where if the cat didn't move the curtains, if the officer didn't see her foot, I mean, she would, in the body cam footage, she simultaneously is turning pale and purple on parts of her body. I mean, you can see it. So I'm not trying to sound hyperbolic, but the concern we had when we first read those reports is absolutely the same concern today. It just, and luckily those concerns didn't play out like they could have. But in situations like this, and I agree with a lot of things Ms. Swenson expressed to me earlier. I want to see Mr. Jewell get help. I want to see him get treatment. And I agree with Ms. Swenson that in many situations, jail doesn't do everybody any good. I pointed out to Ms. Swenson in our phone call, she talked a lot about what was in Mr. Jewell's best interest and what would help him out, what wouldn't help him out. I explained to her that I'm more concerned about what would help her out and what is in her best interest. My concern is, I mean, I had one conversation with her, and I think she has a giant heart. I worry that giant heart might facilitate her prioritizing somebody else's well-being over her own. I'm concerned that her large heart may expose her to further violence in the future if Mr. Jewell is out of custody. I'm concerned about his recent drug use. It sounds like his drug use is new and recent in the last few months and escalating, and he does things like these cases that may be very out of character for him. But it happens out of nowhere and it's extreme, and there is no further escalation other than what almost happened to Ms. Swenson in this second case. So I absolutely respect the phone call we had and everything Ms. Swenson said to the court. But my perspective is a little bit different. And in a case we already had, where it really seems like Ms. Swenson may have been moments away from death.
That is why I'm going to get the help I need when I get out.
Mr. Jewell, no, I appreciate that there's things you want to say, but you have the right to remain silent, and I'm sure your attorney doesn't want you making any statements right now, so I appreciate that you want to say something, but I'll ask that you save that for a private conversation with Mr. Wang.
Judge, in a situation like this, I think it is just an unacceptable risk, at least at this point in time. And I don't know what findings the court could make. I mean, the court's already made findings setting the bond that's already in place. And what I will tell the court is two pieces of additional information. It is as bad or worse as we may have pictured when we were only reading the reports. And two, I have concerns that Ms. Swenson's large heart and forgiving nature might expose her to further mistreatment. So I'm objecting to a reduction or modification of bond.
It's likely the highest bond that this court has set. And so it's not something that it did lightly by any means. 1036 against the same named victim of battery and false imprisonment with similar allegations as here. And of the protection order, Ms. Swenson experienced probably the most aggravated battery that the court has seen allegations of here, to the extent where what was described to the court was that if officers, or that cat presumably, had not brushed up against the curtain, the circumstances were mere moments away from there not being a question about where this case was going to be filed.